I'm Lucy.
Hi, I'm Reece.
And we're here at Club Centre.
And today we're talking a little bit more about stroke rates.
So comparing the two of us simply really is the different amount of strokes we do per length in a 25 metre pool. So Reece, roughly 13 strokes per length.
Roughly.
And I would say I'm roughly 18 strokes per length. So straight away you kind of get an idea of our different stroke rates that we have. Both of them work well for us, so we're not saying that you should slow down or speed up. A lot of people try and focus on having less strokes per length, but that doesn't necessarily mean you're going to be a faster swimmer.
So in the last video we spoke about the difference between a pool stroke and an open water stroke. Obviously having a spectrum of stroke rates in open water is going to be advantageous. For things like going round a buoy, you'll find that the pace can sometimes pick up, or you can get a little bit in a scrappy kind of environment where picking up your stroke rate means that you're not going to get dropped from the group, and also you can pick up your speed a little bit to re-accelerate round things like buoys and obstacles. And also when it's choppy, you're going to get thrown around a little bit. So if you've just got one stroke rate that's all you can do, and you've got waves hitting you from left and right, you need to be a little bit more adaptive to the environment. So having a range of stroke rates is definitely an advantage for open water swimming.
So to do that, you can do a set that we've done before, where you do single lengths and you actually work on different stroke amounts. So you'd start at trying to do, say, as little as 13 strokes, and then every length you're going to try and add another stroke. So you're going to work on building that stroke rate up, and then you can do the same thing but going back down and lengthening that stroke again. And that is going to allow you to have a different range of stroke rates rather than just having your one general stroke rate that you normally would rely on.
You can use a tempo trainer, which you can put inside a swimming hat, and that will bleep to the stroke rate that you set it to help you stay in rhythm with the target stroke rate that you're aiming for.
So leading on from the tempo trainer, to get an idea of kind of the different levels of stroke rates, I tend to race around kind of 85, 90 marks. That's a really, really high turnover. So if you want to try and set your tempo trainer to that and see what that feels like, you can. Kind of for a front end swimmer, you're going to be more around the kind of 70 mark. And then the average age grouper is more around the 45, maybe up to 55 mark on that tempo trainer. So you can experiment with those different kind of paces and see how that feels.
Yeah, so you can actually attach yourself to a bungee cord and assist rather than resist against it. So it will be pulling you towards the end of the lane, and that creates artificial speed. And then you've got to try and match your stroke rate to the speed at which you're swimming. These are little simple drills that you can do if you have the equipment to help speed up your stroke and deal with that higher turnover that you're going to need for swimming at such a high speed.
So breaking the stroke down, when you've got the higher stroke rate, you don't want to rush the catch in the underwater pool too much, because you will maybe end up just slipping through the water. So you want to make sure it's fast but it's forceful, so you're still getting that water. The key part of the speed when you're doing the high cadence is going to come from that recovery phase, when you bring your arm over the top. That is the bit where you really want to go super quick.
Yeah, and I think people's body composition and size as well has impact on this, because obviously a 6'5" guy compared to a 5'5" guy will probably have a much different stroke rate, and someone with longer levers, they're probably not going to be able to turn their arms over as quicker as someone with shorter levers.
So this has been our video on stroke cadence and stroke rate, which is going to lead nicely into our next video on pacing, and then into the type of sets you can do to work on pacing.